Now, for those who say the cancel culture is not happening, and I wondered whether or not I should even share this with you, because you'll understand at the end of this. I just want you to listen to this letter that I received last night, and then I want you to listen to my response before you feel anything. As I've said before on the air, just a little bit, that I had my first art show. It was going to happen this summer, and I've been preparing for it. I've been painting like a madman. I just finished life-size portraits of the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I'm going to do an art show called American Myths, Legends, and Lies. And so I'm painting for all of these things. And I found an art gallery last fall, and it's not easy for Glenn Beck to find an art gallery. And this art gallery said, no, I'm very liberal, and, this has got to be a vanity project. I can't believe he's any good at it. And the person that knew this other person said, no, listen, let me send you some of his art. You will be blown away. So they sent. And the person called me up and said, well, I'm in a tough space because I saw your art and you're good. And I would carry you if it wasn't you. And I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to carry you. And so we planned on an art show this summer. And then I got a note last night that said, I wrote you on January 11th, and I haven't heard back, which I expected, but I wanted to make sure you got this email. Well, I was lost in a deluge of emails, and so I hadn't seen it until last night.
There's a few things going on following.
So this is what was written. Glenn, I hope this note finds you happy and healthy. Upon consideration, I've decided that I would like you to remove my gallery from consideration for the tentatively scheduled summer art show.
I thought it was already scheduled.
Well, no, it wasn't scheduled on the date, but we had an agreement on everything, yeah. Recent national news events have caused me to reflect on our affiliation as well as my conscience. This gallery is no longer the right venue for your event. I owe you an apology because I said I wouldn't back out on you. I told her. I said, this is going to happen. You're going to freak out by all the pressures, et cetera, et cetera. But my commitment was made without knowledge of the painful events that lie ahead. But nonetheless, I'm sorry to change course on you. What painful events lie ahead? Now, this person was freaked out by January 6th, as the follow-up letter said. The events of January 6th made me send you this letter.
Was that you? You did the January 6th thing?
No,
I didn't realize. I don't remember you. You were here, I thought.
Stop. Glenn, you are a good artist, and I wish you well. As a courtesy, I'd recommend you consider approaching so-and-so who owns several galleries at such and such. He's a hardworking gallerist who's outspoken in his support of conservative values. You can reach him through from one of his galleries. Feel free to mention my name. I'm happy to also set up an online introduction. Many gallerists will be thankful for the opportunity to receive well-done art, a likelihood of good profit, and the public exposure for their business. Best regards. So I wrote this individual back. And this is why I'm reading this, because I want you to hear my response. But here's how I responded. Dear so-and-so, I cannot tell you how saddened I am to hear this news. I truly understand your concern, but please know that I and my audience were just as horrified at the events of January 6th as you were. At a time when it seems good people on both sides can no longer even talk with one another, I was hoping this show would be a bright example of people with wildly different views that understand and strive for a world where common decency is again the coin of the realm. I probably will not go through a gallery at all now, as being represented by a conservative gallery does not really excite or challenge me or anyone involved. I was deeply offended years ago by Piss Christ. That's the art project of the crucifix in a jar of urine. But I have enough artist in me, and as a classical liberal, I think art should push people at times. If people complained, they were thinking. If people bullied, they exposed themselves for who they were, and the art world could move on. We should always strive to make people think, explore, and see things differently. That's what I hoped we could accomplish this summer. That's not exactly done with a conservative at a conservative gallery. Unfortunately, as I said last fall, I know what is said about me and the heat anyone who is left of me will receive when they attempt to show any uniting principles. But our country, on both sides, it seems, demands political purity. It's wrong and deadly, no matter which side is pitching. We must again learn that just because we associate with one another, it doesn't mean we endorse everything the other believes. I'm ashamed of my fellow countrymen for their painting of liberals, all of them, as Stalinists, and conservatives as skin-headed Nazis. Know that both of these stereotypes do exist, but Americans used to know that the average liberal and the average conservative is neither of those things, and we could unite on the principles that most of us agree on, the freedoms that are spelled out in our Bill of Rights. I do appreciate your consideration, honestly, and sadly, however, I am not surprised. All my best, sincerely, and I hope someday to be able to meet and spend enough time together so you will see, when it comes to principles, we have much in common and urgent reasons to stand together. We must be beyond anger. Our responses will do nothing but paint us in a corner or set us free. We must change the hearts of people and speak to good, decent people, which I think this person is, coming from their point of view, showing them that you don't know who we are.